There's a place in Russia, but no one likes talking about it. Yeah, that's right. There's a Jewish oblast in Russia. What is it called? Birobidzhan? Yeah. That's a place for Jews to go to if they want to.
Birobidzhan. It's a province in way in the east of Soviet Union. It was like a total failure.
Yeah, well,
like a really big disaster.
Birobidzhan.
No, because it was like
Noah says it's a disaster.
I mean, it was
because he's saying
it's just like it didn't work out.
Because he's saying it's much better to do it in Israel instead, the land known as Israel.
Yeah. Well, it's have
you been seeing what the fuck's going on the timeline? Like,
no, I'll be honest. I was like in meetings and off. I was doing stuff.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you.
What's going on?
People are losing their fucking minds today. They've gotten every single person on the timeline that's like pro-Israel has just been like, Hasan is literally the biggest anti-Semite that has ever existed in the history of anti-Semites. Hasan taught Adolf Hitler what to do with the Jews. Like,
you did?
Just, crazy stuff. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating the last part, but we'll get there.
I mean,
give it a couple more days.
Well, I mean, if you did, we have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's Alyssa Slotkin and Haley Stevens.
Yeah.
Wow.
APAC Media Proxy J Insider is ringing alarm bells over Abdul El Sayed pulling ahead of their favorite candidate, Haley Stevens, in recent polling in the U.S. Senate seat. Bonus asinine paragraph link quote from ex-Mossad Alyssa Slotkin.
Ex-Mossad. Okay. All right. Okay.
No, that's a separate branch. It's the CIA.
Yeah.
It's a classic mistake that people make. Yeah, you want to hear what she said? It's really funny. Senator Slotkin said she's not familiar with much of Piker's language, but that what she knows of his retauric raises concerns.
I'm sorry.
Her.
Wait, what? Hold on. I want to repeat. I'm gonna run that back real quick. Sorry, Senator. No, go back to that tweet. That's insane. Sorry, that was. She said she's not familiar with the language, but what she knows of his rhetoric. What the fuck does that mean? That doesn't make it. I'm not familiar. Listen, I'm not familiar with your language.
Well, fuck you.
But your rhetoric, I don't know what to say.
No, because I think the rhetoric is like he's anti-Israel.
What,
like,
your vibe?
Yeah.
Do words not mean anything anymore? What the fuck is going on, man?
I can read that in a different way. It's called the Israeli lobby handler gave me a boss call, and I'm here. What do you want me to say? Yeah, he sucks, I guess. I don't fucking know. I didn't even go through the talking points as to why he does. But she follows that by saying, any equating of all Jews or American Jews with Israel and the Israeli government is a problem right off the bat. As though I do this.
That's what your side does.
Yeah, and then it sounds
That's what your side does.
Yeah, they thought it was Jake Tapper.
You're the ones who insist on that identification. That's like the dogmatic association. Like,
yeah.
Why?
That's
your problem.
That's
not mine. That's your problem.
No, she thought I was Jake Tapper. That's what it is.
I don't know what to say, man. I mean, I do. I have a lot to say, but wow.
Yeah, cascading set of, and then it sounds like from there a cascading set of anti-Semitic tropes and just the kind of rhetoric that is. I want to read for myself. She reiterates she does not know who I am, which is really funny. I want to read for myself, but sounds deeply anti-Semitic.
So listen, bro.
No,
I don't know who you are.
Well,
but fuck you. Wow.
And therefore, not someone that should be helping anybody out in the Michigan political environment. She said. Oh my God. How does the CIA not know who you are? Yeah, I mean, no, it's because she took out the CIA chip and put the centrism chip in her brain. So she's attacking me centristly, where she's like still leaving room where she's like, everyone's got takes. And we're beginning the phase of researching what those takes are.
Also, wait, it's March 25th. In like November, there was like this whole thing about how, listen, like we can't be such purists anymore. We need to reach young men. We need influencers.
Look who texted me. I posted a Trey Easton dunk. I said, last time a right-wing Democrat tried this attack, New York got its best mayor in a long time. Dude is on tape saying America deserved 9/11. Do y'all want to fucking win elections or not?
God damn.
Damn, he said we're actually...
Wow, Trey Easton would believe something totally bad faith? I can't believe that.
Yeah.
That's shocking to me. How am I going to go to bed at night?
Yeah. Noah dunked on him too.
Oh, yeah.
You're a talentless Twitter warrior. The Searchlight Institute is a pompous group of posters posturing as a think tank. The only reason people know your name is because periodically you do something really embarrassing on social media. Settle down. Yeah, no candidate who's serious about winning a general election in a swing state.
It's like you get to decide who's in and who's out. That's your job now. You have that ability, and that's like your job at the Searchlight Institute.
I think
whose output is just like reading surveys.
Yeah, I was gonna say
like fuck off. Sorry,
as
this
a
is
total outsider.
Like what the fuck? Like what clout do you have to like pull this shit?
As a total outsider,
2016 again. Fuck off. Sorry, I like
no, but it's like the dynamic has shifted so much. Like the environment, the ground is shifted from under their feet. Right, so that's there for two reasons. It's shifted because
1 second, I'm getting a sweater. I'll be right back.
Are you cold? Oh, are you getting a little cold? Oh, are you getting a little cold? All right, let's see what Michigan Advance says. Michigan's El Sayed unfazed by backlash against upcoming campaign event with Hasan Piker. Some voters aren't going to agree with every decision that Abdul El Sayed makes on the campaign trail, but the very progressive Democrat candidate for the U.S. Senate in Michigan is facing an unusually heavy headwind after he announced that he would hold two campus events with controversial leftist content creator Hasan Piker. El Sayed, however, told the Michigan Advance on Wednesday that he was unfazed by the backlash he's now facing for his decision to hold events next month with Piker, who commands a larger audience of people and Democratic socialists from the Bernie Sanders sect of progressive politics. Piker has been called anti-Semitic by many on both the political right and within the leftist circles. Who the fuck on the leftist circles?
No. We know who's leftist now, right? Whoa. It's who Politico described as center left the other day. It's third way. Third way is now leftist.
Third way, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe the story goes on to name a leftist.
They were criticizing me for being revisionist. They were saying it was a sheepdog for the Democratic Party. Leftist circles for his unwavering stance that Israel is committed to genocide. Also, oh God, that's the best. For his unwavering stance that Israel is committed to genocide in his war with Hamas in Gaza. Like, that's the reason why leftists are saying I'm anti-Semitic. He is similarly a beacon in those in the anti-corporate dollars and politics movement, a policy position on which he and El Sayed see eye to eye. My politics resonates with people who have been locked out, El Sayed told the Advance. I'm going to keep talking to people who feel like our current political system is built against them. And I'm going to go talk to those folks via all the different channels that I can. It's not surprising to me that even though Vice President Harris invited us on the stream from the DNC, that the very same people who would be perfectly okay with that are now assembling over the idea that we're going to be campaigning together in Michigan. El Sayed's campaign announced that Piker would join him at stump events planned in East Lansing's Michigan State University and Ann Arbor University, Michigan campuses. These events are scheduled for April 7th. The rallies, which will also feature Pennsylvania's Democratic U.S. Representative Summer Lee, was billed as a way to re-energize voters, young and old, ahead of 2026 midterms in Michigan university towns. The rallies will highlight the campaign's commitment to economic justice, student debt relief, workers' rights, and more, a campaign advisory said. When Politico reported on the planned events, the backlash was nearly immediate from the right-wing fringes of social media, as well as establishment Democratic forces, the latter of whom have rallied around El Sayed's opponents in the United States Rep. Haley Stevens and State Senator Mallory McMorrow. Non-zero chance that Hasan Piker uses Abdul Sayed's rally as an opportunity to tell more people how to commit terror attacks. Said conservative commentator Steve
Actually,
Guest.
okay, wait. We could put that as zero chance right now.
Yeah.
Are you willing to
what? No, I don't think I'm going to be committing a federal crime that, referring to a stream where Piker made a joke about outfitting drones with Chinese-made explosive systems. Others call both Piker and El Sayed communists, also lumping El Sayed in with Piker's perceived anti-Semitic remarks regarding Israel's war in Gaza. However, that criticism was not relegated to conservative factions on social media. Third way.
Called it.
Yeah, third way, the left.
I called it.
Hasan Piker is anti-American, anti-women, anti-Western, and anti-Semitic, the organization said on X. He should be pushed to the fringe, not welcomed onto the stage. Third way President Jonathan Cowan doubled down on that sentiment when he told Politico that anyone eager to campaign with Hasan Piker is at best comfortable overlooking his anti-Semitic and anti-American extremism and at worst endorsing it. Others questioned the logic of El Sayed's campaign, given the fact that Michigan was most recently the location of an attack on the largest Jewish temples and education centers in the nation. The Temple Israel attack on March 12th.
I gotta say, this story is like truly like it is just like all these people face criticism, and it's like.
Yeah, some of the worst people you've ever heard of got together and are yelling at this other guy.
But here's the thing: like, it's like a
half-hearted hit piece because, like, They keep saying,
but I don't think it's. I was gonna say because like all the people they're quoting are like they sound insane. Like it's like yeah, they face criticism. The criticism is like people mumbling at you. Like I don't know what to say. Like it's not like the first guy they quote says that like oh you're gonna incite like it's I don't know man.
That said, some of the western edges of the left-leaning politics felt third way's objection to Piker stumbling.
You know, maybe the authors of the story hadn't seen. Maybe they just hadn't seen
the left-leaning politics.
I just don't think they'd seen the inbred supercut yet.
Yeah, third way's objection to Piker stumbling with Al Sayed was overblown. Some calling the organization Diet MAGA. While El Sayed's campaign did not initially respond to Politico's request for comment, Piker did. Third way has lost the argument in the eyes of a lot of the Democratic Party's base, Piker told Politico. We can have a debate on how much influence they already had amongst the base in general, but they're losing the institutional relevance as well. In an interview with Advance on Wednesday, El Sayed said he was used to this by now as a diehard progressive, a person of North African descent, and one of the few voices in Michigan politics willing to stand up to corporate interests controlling multiple facets of social and political life. Let's be clear. The existence of me is why a lot of politics, as usual, is freaking out somebody who's willing to be openly, honestly, and directly take on corporate power, El Sayed said. The existence of somebody who's willing to call out the domination of special interests in our politics. I've done this before. I know what it's like. I understand why I'm such a threat to their politics, and I'm not surprised that they're reacting as such. El Sayed said, some factions of the Democratic Party and those on the political right can be as mad as they want to be about him sharing a stage and having a conversation with Piker in front of potential voters. I'm going to be focused on having conversations about what it looks like to get money out of politics, money in people's pockets, and pass Medicare for all with all the folks who felt locked out of our political system for a long time, he added. I think this is just what happens when you take on corporate power. They come after your character and make all kinds of accusations about you. At the end of the day, my job is not to worry about what corporate-funded think tanks say about me. Asked if the criticism would derail the events, El Sayed posed another question in response. Have you ever seen me back down? El Sayed said. I think you know the answer to that question. I mean, yeah, saying stay mad is pretty good. Liberal establishment lobbyists and legacy media fixtures attack Hasan Piker because they hate how populist and democratic new media is. This contempt has helped cost them 2 elections, but they rather keep losing and maintain their positions as imagined gatekeepers. True. I want to fight the Republicans more than these guys do. It's that simple. That's what it is.
I mean, I'm also just like, I'm a little bit confused too about what they like, how this is supposed to like. They're like arguing the losing position of like an 80-20 issue in Democratic politics right now. Like an 80-20, by the way, is being very generous.
It's so funny that their angle of attack, like it's bad. It's bad for 2 different reasons. One, it's 2026. Everybody fucking hates this kind of like smarmy, me, cancel this person. Oh, like guilt by association. What are you doing? Everyone hates that across the board. People still do it, but most people hate it, especially normies. They fucking hate the shit. That's number one. Number 2, doing this annoying thing to defend Israel is like doubly stupid. What are you doing? Like, having an issue with me is one thing, but I probably just would shut the fuck up instead of just actively presenting myself as like an ultra Zionist. Okay? It's so crazy. It's so crazy, especially in Michigan, where this exact reluctance to address the very reasonable demands that the voters were making turned Michigan into a red state. Are we fucking forgetting that? Anyway, exactly right, and that's why the Zionists push the censor media and grab hold of MSM tighter will only hasten its irrelevance for the average person. There's also the other side of this. So this is coming out. All these attacks are coming out. Abdul Sayed released this announcement, and then people freaked the fuck out, right? But then afterwards, some internal polling came out from Haley Stevens' side.
I saw this. Yeah, I saw this stuff.
Internal polling,
like the polling, really
that showed like a triple deadlock, basically, with Abdul Sayed close to Haley Stevens as well. And these are numbers that are supposed to be the most favorable numbers that you could get.
They're internals.
Yeah, they're internals. And what's really crazy is those very same numbers showed that once voters actually got to know the candidates, Abdul Sayed won. Why would Stevens release an internal showing El Sayed up 3 points on the informed ballot? Given equal information about each candidate, undecided voters are drawn to Haley Stevens and Abdul Sayed, while Mallory McMorrow struggles to connect. Stevens gains 7 points to reach 35%. El Sayed gains 12 points to reach 38%. And McMorrow loses ground.
Earnest question that this makes me wonder is there like to like try and seriously answer the question posed? Is it like, they're shooting up a flare and being like, hey, listen, APAC, please shoot us with the money gun. Please, please, please. We need help.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of it, but then again, you can have those conversations.
No, I agree. That's why I'm like, I like it's it does sort of beggar belief, but I am curious
because McMorrow is the quasi, the Warrenite in this race. El Sayed is the Sandernista in this race, and McMorrow is the Warrenite in this race. Elizabeth Warren actually endorsed her.
And then Haley Stevens is...
and Haley Stevens is Israel. Haley Stevens is like just Israel. No one likes her. It's crazy, except for Chuck Schumer and also Israel.
I saw this feed. I didn't even read it because I drive, but I don't look at my phone.
Yeah.
Don't ever look at your phone when you drive. Anyway.
Yeah. I love this. Oh, and Umich voter is obviously a big booster.
Sure.
Big booster.
As is, he's for them.
Yeah. He's a big booster of McMorrow, so he's just like constantly mad about this shit. I love this informed ballot poll by Haley Stevens' team. Haley Stevens, Obama, healthcare, McMorrow, we'll cut your taxes and invest in job training. Oh, sleepy. Abdullah Sayed, canceled medical debt. Only candidate who hasn't taken corporate PAC money, Bernie. What?
Why are they?
What's the problem?
No, because it's like I feel like it's about like just trying to get to the idea of like the straight runoff or something. I don't know. I mean, it's so I don't know how you plan for a 3 like I'm not like a campaign person. I don't know how you navigate like determining the difference in one 3-point in one 3 race versus another, like who is the edge and who you should be trying to denigrate and who you should be trying to lift up or whatever in terms of like trying to siphon support or boost or throw support to. Like to give yourself the advantage. I have no idea.
You mocking Noah for being cold is pure toxic masculinity. This is why you're the left's Joe Rogan, you ape.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Tell him.
That's funny.
That's right. Not a person of carbonara. You said it.
Yeah, I think he has a different bone to pick with me. His name is not a person of carbonara, so he's mad that I'm freightophobic. Anyway, Abdul's, let's see what they wrote. I don't care about what they wrote about Haley Stevens.
Yeah, I mean, all these things.
She's irrelevant. She's not going to win. Mallory McGuire is a state senator in the Detroit area who grew up in the small town values and worked as a manager at a local family-run grocery store. As a state senator, McMorrow helped families keep more than what they earn by cutting income tax on working families, eliminating the retirement tax on seniors, and investing in job training. She says we need a new generation of leadership in Washington and real change because DC politicians of both parties aren't doing anything to fix the real. Okay, that's like such a boilerplate, like. I'm actually a progressive, but I'm not willing to like entertain
this
being
just gets
truly.
Like I'm already reading ahead of the Haley Stevens one, and it's just like these are so fucking boring. Like they split hairs, and then like the Abdul Al Sayed one is like he like takes kittens out of trees. His community like also, is named every street after him.
This is a good take from Michael from Pennsylvania. This shows that the APAC team is very professional. They're giving fair bios that the campaign team would use. They're testing messaging. This is why they get the millions. Yeah. All good campaign pollsters test the messaging the other side would use. It is an attempt to simulate the campaign so they can see what
but here's
messaging
the
is
question to
resonating.
me, and this is like, and again, an earnest question as somebody who's like I do not claim to have like particular knowledge about how like people make these kinds of decisions in campaigns. Why do I know it? Why am I reading about this on Twitter? Why is this public? Like, to what end was this made public?
I don't know, but I like it because
I mean, look, it shows. I'll say it's in a position of strength, and the only thing I can think again of is that like they want to send up the money gun, or they want to draw. They want like the fucking death, whatever. You get the idea. I don't need more metaphors for it. I just don't know.
McMorrow released her own internal, and El Sayed is in second. They're both. Everyone is saying El Sayed is coming in hot. Yeah, this was the. Look at the shift.
Is there any chance of like rapprochement between McMorrow and Stevens? Like would they?
They're losing to McMorrow and are trying to convince all pro-Israel donors that she can't win.
I mean, I don't think it's about. I mean, like I know that they're trying to like on Twitter and stuff, and the insults and the slurs and the Hasan stuff. Like they want to insult Abdul Al Sayed, but I'm like very all these like when I just see a bunch of internal campaign stuff on Twitter, I just start wondering like, what is like, I feel a little bowled over.
Competitors implicit messaging without saying it out loud. If you don't vote for me, the Arab will win.
In Michigan?
I mean,
if there were a state,
I think they've given up on winning the Arab vote in Michigan because Abdul al-Sayed is from that area, right?
No.
So they've given up on that. They're trying to get the white ruraloids to garner support.
I just there's like
they're gonna turn around and do a rally with like Nick Shirley, who went to the fucking
God.
anti-Islam rally with Jake Lang. Haley Stevens comes out with another asset of Israel, Jake Lang. They're speaking to pro-Israel donors and billionaires. They love anti-Arab hate. Yeah.
We have a lot of Arabs here. Well, no idea.
It's more likely McMorrow and El Sayed joined together than McMorrow and Stevens. They've both done events and joint statements together and regularly call out Stevens for not showing up with them. Yeah, I know. And but I don't think here's the problem. I don't know enough about Mallory McMorrow, but she is the candidate with the highest chance of winning right now. Like from all the polls that I've seen.
That was all I knew about this race from a glance. But
the reality is Abdul al-Sayed is better than McMorrow. He's more earnest. Like I think McMorrow is just like adopting more of a progressive framework now, right? Because she's like reading the room, and she will be like a Daniel Biss, right? She will be like a Daniel Biss, where she's more of a controllable entity as opposed to someone like Abdul al-Sayed, who is through and through like pro Medicare for all this stuff. And part of the reason, I mean, that was my suspicion from the jump, right? But so if you think that like McMorrow is going to like drop out because let's say Abdul al-Sayed is like cooking in the polls, and then McMorrow, if you expecting her to drop out and like push support to al-Sayed, you're delusional. It's not going to happen, right? She is going to sit there as a spoiler and potentially allow Stevens to gain more momentum. Okay? The race currently is a statistical tie. Yes, I know. And it's also, it's all in the margin of error currently.
And it's like there's over 2 months to go.
Yeah. And also on top of that, al-Sayed has like little name recognition. And whenever people learn about him, they like him quite a bit. Okay? But here was the memo that was circulating. Drop site news obtained a private donor call where McMorrow campaign discussed her strong pro-Israel stance. Volunteer Rob Kalman praised her outstanding AIPAC position paper.
Oh, wow. That to me sounds like...
Which he has said has not been made public.
Okay, that has to be... Okay.
Kind of makes me feel like she's in it to like cut away at the progressive momentum that Abdul al-Sayed might have. And if she wins...
I'm just curious about also like... That sounds, interesting.
What were you going to say?
No, it just seems like if you're Haley Stevens, this is a great...
He's Jewish.
No, nothing about that. No,
he's not making...
No, quiet. I'm not talking about the JQ or anything. No.
I thought you were going to... No, I was making a joke. I was like, you're inferring that like this is an AIPAC scheme.
Oh, no, but I do think, I think it's a Haley... I think that... Like,
Noah Kulwin, his father is a rabbi.
Okay. Hear me out.
Literally.
It just is like, look, I hate big braining this stuff, but it's like when all these things get leaked, it's like you do wonder. It's like, yeah, like they put it this way, it's like cui bono from like Mick Morris taking a tumble like this, and who would have access to a leaked donor call, and it's the donor, and who else would a pro-Israel potential donor be in contact with in some dark money thing? I mean, the whole thing is kooky.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so
play it out.
Play the donor group, like the donor leaked it. But why would they leak it to AIPAC? I mean, the drop site.
I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. That's also like drop site is good journalists. But either way,
I do think you're underestimating outside name recognition bid. He was a candidate for governor in 2018 and got 30% of the vote in the Dem primary. He's been around Michigan politics for a bit. Yeah, but I think like the Senate run is. I mean, you're right. But I think people probably forgot.
We've been talking about it a lot. Yes, that's absolutely a reality. What I will say is that I think that Mallory is where most of the electorate is. I think she's been really thoughtful on the issue, and I think we've been in conversation with anyone who wants to talk about this, and I think that on the whole, most people have found that Mallory, even if they disagree with Mallory, they think she has been very thoughtful on the issue, and she's accessible and honest and transparent. So I think that our hope is that AIPAC doesn't get involved in the race, but they have to wait and see.
Is she willing to talk to them, because they absolutely will get involved?
Dude, it's like, it's so ominous. Like,
I was about to say, like, play, like, I feel like I just heard like the music from The Godfather.
Yeah.
It's
just like
Jesus.
It's so fucking ominous and strange to just like have this like constant presence, right? This is this fucking unlimited money cannon. They're like, well, it's gonna happen, right? So you better play ball. It's gonna happen.
We have been talking to every organization that wants to talk about this issue, and that's sort of our policy. So we've had conversations with them. We've, have had conversations with all sorts of groups.
I can tell you that I've talked with them directly because I know leadership locally and nationally. And they know very clearly that I'm supporting Mallory and why I'm supporting her. And I have read her AIPAC position paper. It's outstanding. I don't know if it's public or not. Mallory will benefit, I believe, because that rule is going to hit Haley very hard over it. And so there might be that spend, but I'm told it's going to provide some cover on that. But I'll tell you that I was concerned with the Bernie vote and some of the public comments that were made, especially like a Punch Bowl article this morning.
What Punch Bowl?
Mallory gets it. She understands it.
Do we know what the article that he's referring to there, Chad?
Yeah.
From Punch Bowl?
What was the comment that was concerning from Punch Bowl? Do we have any idea?
I'm told it's going to provide some cover on that.
An AIPAC position paper is like the paper that a campaign would give AIPAC to say, like, here's our position on the issue.
Yeah. Israel.
And yeah, it's
we do not. I think this is old, and I think she called it a genocide. It doesn't matter. I think you're not going to see Abdul El Sayed go to AIPAC with a position paper. That's the difference. The mentioned article claimed her husband was AIPAC intern.
Punch Bowl. Yeah. Oh wait, here we go.
El Sayed Blast McMurrow. Some of us follow. No, this is older, you guys said. This is from February 9th.
This one? Oh,
Punch
yeah, it is.
Bowl
I mean, I guess
Michigan
it is
Democratic Senate
so it's
candidate
not
Abdul
from
El Sayed
last
expressed
year.
frustration with Mallory McMurrow during a private organizing call last week, complaining that his primary opponent copies my homework just poorly on key issue positions. Oh, yeah, I remember this. The other opponent waits until I take a position and then takes a halfway position like 2 months later, El Sayed, referencing McMurrow, said on a February 4th private call. So some of us lead and some of us follow, and I guess some of us get out of the way.
Punch Bowl had one from August 2025 too. I mean, that article
is from last
interesting.
year, yeah.
Yeah, this
McMurrow's husband is a lobbyist for Peter Thiel-backed nuclear energy company. Oh. The Democrats' Israel split is defining the Michigan. This makes sense. August 20th, 2025.
Yeah, this makes more sense.
Open Senate seat in Michigan State President Donald Trump won in 2024 has triggered an intense battle that's morphed into a proxy fight over the future of the Democratic Party. Haley Stevens, seen as the favorite of Democratic leadership, is doubling down on a pro-Israel record. State Senator Mallory McMurrow and former Michigan health official Abdul El Sayed, to varying degrees, say Democratic voters want their leaders to reconsider what's been a reflexively pro-Israel stance by both parties in Washington for decades. El Sayed, a 40-year-old physician who ran unsuccessfully for governor in 2018, was a prominent booster of the uncommitted movement during the Democratic presidential primary last year. El Sayed saw it as a way to pressure then-President Joe Biden to change his support for Israel's war in Gaza following October 7th terror attacks by Hamas, although he backed Democrats in the general election. But the move reflected the anger at Democratic Party leaders among Michigan's prominent Arab American community. El Sayed insists his position isn't only smart politics in a Democratic primary, but also in a general election. There's an opportunity to take back the voters we lost in 2024, who, by the way, happen to be Arab voters and young men, El Sayed told the crowd here, describing himself. Trump is, for whatever reason, someone who comes off as being authentic, El Sayed added in an interview. People are going to look at me and be like, that man believes what he says. The bigger picture, back in Washington, Democratic support for Israel slowly slipping as the war in Gaza grinds on. Okay. The Senate Democratic Caucus is bitterly divided over Israel's war against Hamas in Gaza and the tidal wave of Palestinian civilian casualties. This is evidenced by recent Senate votes on resolutions to block offensive weapon sales to Israel.
I mean, the article doesn't say that much. I don't think the article is actually that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I think it's more that like it was drawing attention to these divisions. But I think that there's something kind of interesting more generally in this, which is that like we've seen now, and I think we can sort of observe a pretty more general trend. AIPAC is getting involved like nakedly and visibly in congressional races in a pretty novel way. Like I gotta say, you know, I've covered AIPAC. I remember my first AIPAC policy conference is probably like in the mid 2010s. You know, it's like they have typically wielded influence in much more subtle ways, and like have typically shied away from wanting to be in trouble in this, you know, be observed this way. And like we're now getting, you know, we have in the Michigan race, they're now, I mean, look, they're now trying to make that a race about, pretty impressively, it's becoming a race about Hassan Piker at this particular juncture. But it's also, you know, in some measure, like AIPAC is involved. They're now part of the story. The New Jersey 11th, you know, like race, like they're involved in that. Daniel Biss and his opponent, like they're involved in that. Like there's a bunch of races all over the country, and it's not just that we know that they're involved, but like they're visibly involved. They're defending their involvement, and it's, you know, they're not really shying away from showing that they have this kind of influence, which is a pretty interesting development.
I mean, the reason why they had that call with AIPAC right at this article coming out means that she's like secretly pro-Israel or pro-Israel enough. I think.
I mean, it's, you know, I think it'll be, I think that there's the possibility, like it's I think if like it's sort of McMorrow has more of like this kind of, you know, let's say like of the recent vintage we're trying to talk about, like Daniel Biss being a good point of comparison. Like it seems that like what, you know, like the tone of that call to me was way more like, you know, hostage call, where it was like the McMorrow people were just trying to be like, no, listen, we're fine. Like, no need for you guys to get involved. Like, please stay away.
McMorrow is publicly urging AIPAC to stay out of the Michigan primary, adding that she's been in touch with the organization directly as well as other pro-Israel groups. McMorrow said the groups have been receptive, later clarifying that she was referring to her positions on Israel more broadly. I think they understand the shifting dynamics, not only in Michigan, but around the country and around the world, McMorrow added. This is, in my opinion, worse than the leaked phone call. This is her literally saying, AIPAC gave me the nod to punch bowl publicly.
Yeah, it's true. Well, she's saying that like, no, trust me, they've signed off on me, which is like, which is, you know, it's like it's a way of saying. I mean, it's a way of like trying to get a kind of, you know, like saying like, no, there's a white flag, like, you know. I'm not saying McMorrow is poor for Palestine, but this leak does leave of a Stevens camp rat fuck to boost. I'll say it against McMorrow. AIPAC is recently taking boosting opponents. I mean, that's what I was wondering about. And like, to me, it's like, I don't want to speculate. Like, I don't think that the tape is the tape. Let me be clear. The tape is journalistically relevant. It's news. It's like, it tells us something about the inner workings of this stuff. Speculating about why it was leaked only informs like the context in which you understand it, but it should not diminish like the truth quality or the journalistic integrity of the leak. What I think is especially interesting, though, in it at least, is that to me it does continue to illustrate this pattern that I was just referring to about how AIPAC is getting involved. They're trying to split electorates, and sometimes they boost a progressive, and sometimes
in the debate, if there is a debate, I'm sure there's going to be a debate leading up to these primaries. What I would do is jam up her comms, right? I would get her to identify 3 positions that distinguish you that the public is on board with. 1, will you commit to no funds to Israel as long as it continues as genocide and apartheid? Do you believe Israel has committed a genocide? She said yes to that. And do you believe that Israel is an apartheid regime? Now, she's probably, let's say she says yes to 2, apartheid and genocide, but then says no to the last one, defensive and offensive weapons capabilities, like that distinction. Then you can jam her up by saying, so why do you think a country that has conducted a genocide, that is currently doing a genocidal occupation in the West Bank, deserves any kind of funding whatsoever when it's illegal according to our laws? So that's number 1. The other way that you can actually jam her up is by turning around and looking at her previous statements on the matter and ask her, then why did you say this to AIPAC? Why did you send your policy positions to AIPAC? Would you commit to showing the voters who have a right to know the full scope of your perspective and your commitment to the state of Israel, or your commitment to sending weapons or taxpayer subsidies at a time when Michiganders are suffering to Israel instead? I think it's perfectly valid. Would you release the papers so that there's full transparency? That's another thing you can do. Or you can just, look through what her consistent positions have been leading up until this last year or so and be like, so why did you say this on April 13th, 2024, right? Why did you say Israel is not committing a genocide on April 13th, 2024? At what point did your mind change on this? And why did your mind change on this?
I mean, I think there's also,
you simply wanted to, was it because you simply recognized,
I think stick with the simple one of release the position paper to start with, and then go from there and establish what's in that. And, look, I wouldn't be surprised if what's in the position paper isn't really that different from what she said publicly. Yeah. I do think that it's typically not it's, people who run political campaigns that are this, they're not slouches. And I don't think that there's there's not going to be a paper that illustrates a dramatically different set of policies. That said, I would, it wouldn't totally shock me if obviously that bears out differently. What just strikes me about this whole process again is this fucking the leak is I would my follow-ups frankly would be about so your campaign manager, did you have a system where it was blink twice if he felt that he was unsafe? The tenor of that shit was fucking crazy. It was they were being shaken down. I mean, I don't want to say that I feel bad for the McMorrow people, because I do think that fundamentally your first principle with AIPAC should be fuck off by, and that if they come for you, you should wear that as a badge of honor, because frankly, it's also politically advantageous at this moment.
Yeah, and they're going to spend $20 million.
Exactly. So fine, whatever. As they say it, we're getting involved. So fine, whatever. But I don't want to, so I don't because she didn't do that, I don't want to say oh, I feel bad for you. On the other hand, what we listened to did, it had a very Goodfellas fucking, it was not, it wasn't pleasant to listen to in the way that it's when we read about horrible things our military does or whatever, I feel implicated as a citizen of this country, in that sense.
Yeah. Peter Stern defended me. Incredible to see a potential 2028 Dem presidential candidate taking this tack. Do you really think Dem voters will become more supportive of Israel and critical of Piker over the next 2 years? Yeah. Elisa Slotkin is who he's referencing.
I mean, there's what they're okay. Peter's point is correct. However, there is another another way to look at it, which is that these people, particularly somebody like Slotkin, right, who is a senator in Virginia, why would she say this? Why would she raise this issue? And it's because, in the next 2 years, that may not be the case. But in their mind, and I don't agree with this, obviously, I think this is, in addition to being immoral logic, it's also it's an attempt at foresight, but is just wrong. Is the idea is that eventually though, these people will be able to be distanced. They will be associated with either political failure, they'll be weak, they'll be diminished, and we can use this as a license to try and get rid of them. And if we hang together, even if we don't succeed.
What did you say about Slotkin? Slotkin is...
Oh, Michigan. Sorry, I thought she was Virginia.
No. You're...
Oh, Spanberger.
No, that's the other CIA boss girl.
God damn it, I totally mixed them up. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, Abigail Spanberger.
Oh, no, so she gets
Abigail
she gets
CIA Berger is the other...
God damn. I really did just straight up mix them. That's why I was confused.
There is something very funny, by the way, about... They were roommates, but they were roommates.
Okay, so I'm not just a misogynist. I'm not just a misogynist.
They're both CIA, they're both roommates, whatever. They're both shitty centrist libs. There is something very funny about Democrats being like, oh my God, how do we lose? Oh my God, we lost young men. Oh my God, we need a Joe Rogan. Oh my God, we found a Joe Rogan. And I was literally like, that's not me, and that's not going to work anyway. And they were like, no, you are the Joe Rogan to the left. And now they're like, actually, fuck the Joe Rogan to the left. Joe Rogan to the left should kill himself. If you associate with the Joe Rogan to the left, you should die.
It's going to be...
I didn't ask for this.
This was always how it was destined to be, though.
It's so
I
funny.
think you knew that. I feel like there was never any sense that like it would be anything different once campaigns actually started up. Because by the way, this always happens. Like for future reference, like every time there's an election cycle and people learn lessons, if those lessons that were initially learned in like November and December become politically inconvenient within 5 months, don't be surprised if all of a sudden you see them get unlearned real quick. You know, like it took them, like it's March. Like snow has not melted in much of this country. Okay. And they're like already saying that like,
why is everyone saying check the latest tweet from the White House? What the fuck did the White House say now? Oh God, I bet it's lame as fuck. What? I don't even. Can someone just link me what the fucking tweet is? Jesus Christ. Subscribe to the Parker Broadcasting Service. Crying Hasan's real voice been coming out, lady. What's going on? Is this it?
No.
It's launching soon, right? It's launching soon, right?
What?
What the fuck is some gay, mysterious, like awful, mysterious advertising thing.
I don't know.
It's the bullshit. Like, did you see the thing with her and the robot?
No.
There was a robot and her walking down the street.
Oh, she was chasing Summer Lee, demanding a quote because I call Trump voters cattle. That's my favorite thing when they like,
bro, come on,
when they get mad at like very good takes, like takes that I totally 100% unconditionally stand by. Like when they always love bringing up the Hamas tweet where they're like, I'm a lesser evil voter. And as a lesser evil voter, I'm a harm reduction voter. I would vote for Hamas over Israel. I would vote for Hamas over Israel. Objectively, Hamas is the lesser evil here in the two parties. And they get so mad about that because there's like, it's like so perfectly designed, I think, to like, if you're anti-Israel liberal, you hear that and you're like, wait, that kind of makes sense. It causes a lot of people to like, reconfirm or check their biases on the matter. And anyone who's pro-Israel loses their fucking minds because that's like the
also,
big no-no.
Actually, you know what the other thing this reminds you of? It just hit me is that this is like they're trying to do deplorables again.
Yeah.
Except the thing is that like Hillary Clinton, like basket of deplorables, like what the fuck? Like just call them cattle. Call them barely sentient peasant brain losers. I think if Hillary had just said that, that probably would have gone over better than basket of deplorables.
Yeah.
Oh, Rep Lee, how's it going?
Oh, this is the funniest guy. Charles Downs. Have you ever seen this guy? He looks
Charles Downs.
He looks like a baby that wasn't supposed to make it.
Well, I'm gonna need some evidence of this.
No. Sometimes he loves doing the self cam videos, so I need to find it. What is this? Representative Summer Lee wouldn't disavow Hassan Piker legislation impeachment articles. Hassan Piker's praised Massey and will appear at an event with Representative Lee and Abdul El Sayed.
Even worse, Trump.
Wait, what? They're mad that I've praised Thomas Massey. Isn't that good for like?
No, because Loomer is Loomer unleashed. Jesus. I think Loomer has like her own. She's in Trump. Oh my god!
Doesn't he look like
whoa, full screen, motherfucker?
Doesn't he look like
Give me that. I need to see more.
Like
I need to see more.
Like an abortion survivor.
Whoa.
How's it going, everyone? It was an eye-opening day on Capitol Hill today.
I'll be honest. He actually has he has an actor's face. I'm not kidding. I'm not being he should be in a Coen Brothers movie, dude. Bro, come on. I'm not even clowning. I'm not clowning.
He sounds so crazy.
I mean, yes, does he work for Laura Loomer, which,
what's up, guys?
Which means that he's more of a Coen Brothers character than a Coen Brothers actor, yes. But
something crazy happened in the Capitol today. Oh man.
He's this guy looks like a bartender in a show.
The House Democrats just keep getting more and more extreme.
Whoa, sorry, now pause it. He's smiling and then frowning and his voice is going up and then down. Like it's getting more and more. It's a lot. There's a
Why
lot.
doesn't he just try again? like he's just like, first try.
I mean, I do. There is like, it would also.
This is one of those guys where it's like kind of touch and go, where you're like, am I being ableist for making fun of the way he looks?
like I feel bad, dude. It's like when I learned. Do you remember back before she became evil when Dasha did the Sailor Socialism thing, and it was with the influencer, or sorry, the Infowars interview or whatever. And that Infowars lady, I felt really bad for. Like her vibe was like, oh, like you're not like all with it. And that's like a little bit of what I'm getting from this, which is to say, if you are his talent agent and you're watching this, like he should be on HBO. Like Noah
said it. You got a face for the movies, my man.
Man.
For the silver screen.
I'm serious. Like Jim Jarmusch would totally cast Jim Jarmusch.
Yeah,
my.
This is the first video I ever saw of him on stream.
Well, the media.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, he's awesome.
If there needs to be like a fan cam for this
you're
guy.
a star, kid.
He is, dude.
He's gonna act like there was some major.
He's like Bill. It's like Bill Paxton. Like got it's like Project Veritas. Bill Paxton.
I know, but like, why does his voice change so much? Like he sounds like a xylophone. Look,
anti-Trump protest in Washington D.C.
And his eyebrows. Look at his eyebrows.
It's fake. They were all busting on buses, like right.
He sounds
me.
also his intonation is like an AI, like those like AI voice reels, of like two cats or whatever.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, he looks so British. Like this is. Like if
that's actually his country. He does have
he
that.
He just has like a very British face. Oh man!
I mean, he could be like Nick Cave's understudy.
He looks like a child who was made old. Oh, I love this guy. Apparently, this video is about me.
The House Democrats couldn't disavow Hasan Piker and his insane claims.
Sorry, this is great,
bro. Like, if it's coming from you, I doubt anyone is gonna. No one wants to agree with you.
Come on, that's
like
awesome.
Unconditionally. Like they see you, they go, ha!
How do you think Laura Loomer found him? She was like, I need.
They were dating.
No. Don't say that about her.
She's a free spirit.
She's an angel.
And that America deserved 9/11. Yes, you heard that right. They couldn't disavow Hasan Piker's statement that America deserved 9/11. These people are nuts. Stay tuned. You're not going to want to.
What the fuck, man? He's like, these people are nuts. Stay tuned.
I nearly gasped when Representative.
Bro, Ari Aster, you need to cast this motherfucker.
Okay, let's hear.
Lee, how's it going? I have a question. So you're appearing at an event with Hasan Piker and Abdul El Sayed.
Can you tell me who you are?
Charles Downs with Loomer Unleashed. So, do you agree with Mr. Piker's assessment that Trump voters are...
She's so swaggy. It's crazy.
She really is, dude.
She's so fucking cool.
That was a good... She just handled so much. I mean...
So, do you agree with Mr. Piker's assessment that Trump voters are, quote-unquote, cattle-like, brain-dead peasants?
Bro, they're in a government building. Yeah, they're in a government building. Yo! They got the fake money. They got marble.
Bro, this makes me feel like
they're in a government building.
I feel like LeBron watching the tapes over and over again.
They're in a government building, and they're saying stuff that you like. They're,
Do
bro,
you think I'm cattle?
They're in a government building, man.
Oh, that's so dope.
I hate this,
What do you think about the statement that Trump supporters are brain dead cattle peasants?
Bro, we're at war with Iran, and they're talking about cattle in Congress, man.
Bro, there are Nick Shirleys all around us for those with eyes to see. This is another Nick Shirley archetype. This is like, do they build them in a lab and just release them half finished? What the fuck is this?
He's a problem, dude.
Like, you can't have this many people that are chewing on the fucking things on their hoodies, the strings on their hoodies, running around DC, being like, "I'm for Laura Loomer Unleashed."
No, I don't know anything about that. But you have to ask the son about how he feels. I don't let you talk for me.
Well, you're going to an event with him, so you think you should go to an event with someone who like disparages voters like that?
I'm going to an event to talk to college students.
So like you don't feel bad going to an event with Hasan Piker?
To talk to college students?
Hasan Piker.
No, I work with a whole bunch of people who I don't agree with every day.
What about Hasan Piker saying America deserved 9/11? Do you think that's cool?
I think you should talk to Hasan Piker. I don't answer for him.
No, Summer, no, I don't want to.
Dude.
Wait,
Dude.
the video's deleted now. This Charles Down guy was on the scene after the plane crashed into the helicopter over the river in DC last year.
Yes, I need to see this.
Wait,
where is this video? Where is this video?
It was indistinguishable from a Connor O'Malley video.
Please. I need this so bad, dude.
Oh my god.
All right.
This is like, he's awesome. No, this is,
right.
I'll be honest, this is like, of all the like, this is the first new character who's like, made a scratch in my brain in a minute. Oh,
another one, perfect background.
What's up, everyone? This is just getting pathetic.
Oh god, I wish we had that video. I want to see it.
All right.
I'm sure they agree.
All right.
I'm sure because of a whole bunch of people.
All right. Well, thank you.
Bro, she's missed like 2 elevators. She was so nice to him.
Yeah.
She was so nice to him. And listen, if he does get in touch with you,
Here's some of his crash coverage. Oh my god, at the Gateway Pundit. I haven't seen that in a minute.
Oh, is this him? Hold on. Patty McMurray.
Conservative Charles A. Downs.
Oh, these were his
near-
tweets. These were his tweets. I live close to National and recently heard a massive boom. Now it's reported that all flights are canceled. I hope I am wrong. I will be heading out soon to investigate. Stay tuned and pray. Update. Oh no! Oh god, Nick Sorter, who also sounds like a fucking freak, if we're being honest.
This one is perfect.
Oh wait. Well, everybody really loves sending you Drewski links.
I know.
It's really
no,
funny.
it's the Erica Kirk video. I already watched it.
Oh, I didn't. I wasn't. I mean, I'm.
Just read this tweet. He's genuinely medically stupid.
James Fishback was banned from Mar-a-Lago just days after Fishback was pressed by me about his false. I just realized it. It's the Kenneth the Page like cadence.
Yes.
Was pressed by me about his false claims that Trump was a pedophile protector.
This is a Drewski bot, I think. Take a day off, Drewski bot.
In our exchange, Fishback also. Yes.
It is wild out here. I'm gonna walk on over. I'm literally right outside DCA. There's a large presence of EMS, emergency vehicles, and I would say security. You're about to see there's fire trucks all over there. Right over there is the Potomac River. The DCA runway is probably around like a few miles that way. As you can see, like massive
the DCA
amounts of
runway
emergency
is probably
vehicles
about a
are
few
continuing
miles
just, like,
that
calm
way.
down. Just calm down the street. They're saying it's a small plane. It was not a small plane. This was a huge jet, I think, that went down.
Okay, he was right though.
I mean, he was right about that, but it's like, this is why it's Eddington. This is why it needs to be an Ari
I heard an
Aster thing.
explosion
Because
I live down the street.
he is like
So I decided to
communicating
come down
a
to see what was
truth,
happening.
but he's like totally
And
fucking crazy.
A tragedy is unfolding.
A tragedy is unfolding.
And then he doesn't even. Like, what I love is like
he doesn't even edit the end.
Exactly, he doesn't know. Like it's maybe he doesn't. Like well, he's on the scene, so he's rushing. He's trying to get it out. He's trying to be first. He's trying to do it's a little Nightcrawler.
Oh my god, he looks like the guy on TikTok that's like 40 years old from like Brazil that says he's 17.
Yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, I love that guy.
Everybody thinks I'm 17.
Yeah.
I found it. Is this the same one? It's the same one, right?
Yeah.
Oh no,
better one.
So right behind me, they're literally putting rescue boats into the river and taking them out. So something really, really, really bad happened. They're saying it's a small plane. I don't know. There's a very, very, very large law enforcement response. Let's pray for the firefighters. Let's pray for everyone on the flight.
Let's pray for the firefighters.
Everything.
Because I think something terrible has happened. I have lived here for 6 years. Never seen anything like this in my life. Ever. Stay tuned for more.
He's awesome.
I need this.
He's so dope.
I'm lightheaded, dude.
He's so fucking goated, dude. He really wanted you to watch his video. He's a fan.
Oh my god.
Hello, Hasan. Oh, I watched it.
Oh, brother, we are watching.
Oh, we're watching. I love seeing his face.
I was not familiar with your game.
It is one of those. He just has a very unique look. Let's say.
No, this is this is special, man.
Saying I think something really bad happened.
Really
after witnessing a mid-air plane collision is very funny.
Like that's this is, and he works for Laura Loomer.
Yeah, it's. I mean, of course.
I don't know what to say, man.
Of course, he works for Laura Loomer.
There's no.
My sources tell me the plane is stable. Please, God. Nobody loves you quite like your haters is true.
I mean, he's more than just a Hasan hater, though. No, he's on his own journey, man.
Yeah.
Give him the respect. Give him the grace.
I don't think he has enough.
Give him the grace.
I don't think he has enough processing power to be a fully fleshed hater of mine. Why are we circulating Adam Carlson? Oh my God! If ever there is like a more moderate position on Israel, Adam Carlson's gonna dial in on it. Why were we circulating a recording that leaked September? McMorrow was not on and presenting his news beyond me. But since then, she said Israel's committing a genocide on AIPAC's shit list and shares Bernie and Yossi's position on blocking the sales of offensive weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't look. I think it's news. I think that's why it's circulating. But as I said, I still think the most salient thing from it, frankly, isn't something that makes McMorrow look that bad, which is just that she was getting shaken down by AIPAC, and that it's a mark on your record that you ever entertained them.
Yeah.
To begin with, and you can just move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, I just don't trust her. I don't and this is part of the reason why. I just don't think that someone who is going to AIPAC to be like, can you please stay out of the race? Here's our position paper is going to be trustworthy on the issue of Israel. And I think there's a very easy way to just be firm in your convictions and expose that they are not. Because obviously this is the most significant crime of our generation that we watched unfold. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of politicians that are going to switch their stances around to make it as to make it as appealing as possible to the largest number of voters, from what they perceive as the largest number of voters, without ruffling too many feathers, right? And I will say that as long as you have your convictions, you can absolutely jam up people like this, because they're going to be retriangulating in real time. And yeah, this is another thing. New Mallory McMorrow has endorsed Jordan Acker, a vocally pro-Israel candidate for re-election.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah. I remember this. And this happened.
The region is the one who prosecuted the anti-genocide student protesters.
Oh yeah, no.
Right?
I mean, look, if there's anybody who we want to make sure is vocally pro-Israel, it's the people who do governance at universities, for fucking sure. Great call.
Yeah. Jay Mershon says she literally submitted a position paper to AIPAC that apparently was highly praised by AIPAC.
I mean,
she's just a part of the new wave of
highly praised by AIPAC is we don't I haven't seen evidence of that. People just I will say that their candidate in the race is Stevens. That's for sure. Stevens is unconditionally, unapologetically, openly pro-Israel. Yeah, it's.
But it does make me think are they? Well, I know how AIPAC operates. I don't think they're sophisticated enough to. Well, they are very sophisticated, but I don't think they're gonna position anti-Israel candidates to suck up some of the votes, only to then have them turn once they're elected. Because I think they're too too angry to let that happen. Even to have a candidate that they are, to have them push for any candidate or. Move numbers in the direction of any candidate that could be even remotely anti-Israel. That's why they came after Malinowski. Malinowski is super pro-Israel. But
I mean, I still think that there is that race especially. I really wonder both about because some of this is look, right? how much of this is driven by regional stuff? Like how much of this is like super nationally coordinated? How much of, it's competing incentives? Because I do wonder, right? Like, is there some reason that Malinowski was selected, even though he was an extremely mild critic of Israel, et cetera? That just has to do with, because AIPAC did eventually enter their own candidate in that race, and it ended up going like totally sideways for them. I don't know.
Yeah, AIPAC makes actually a good point. Presidential candidates disavowing AIPAC practically means nothing. What really matters is presidential candidates' policy positions. This is an argument that I make all the time as well. Now that AIPAC has become like the magnet, and people think that it's like, oh, that's the end all be all of all things Israel. It's turned into like the NRA basically. And I try to explain to people like a lot of these politicians that get money from the NRA get that money so they make the tough decision when in a moment that matters, right? They're still pro guns, like personally and individually. And some of these candidates are pro Israel personally and individually, but will, make a tough call because they'll be reminded that AIPAC was there funding their campaign. So that's the reason why I always say you got to ask candidates what their positions are. Like you got to make them tell you that they're honest, they're earnest about their positions. You got to make them convince you.
I still think what'll be very interesting to see unfold is how because look, all of this stuff that's happening right now in the Democratic Party, what this is really going to ultimately mean in the long run, and we're sort of just like waiting to see when, not waiting, but we don't know at which point it'll happen. Israel will become a partisan issue, and what'll become much more substantial will be the extent to which AIPAC becomes an implement, and the pro-Israel causes become, like their largest political interventions become mediated through the Republican Party.
God, Haley Stevens. She's so bad. Also saying it's a genocide and being anti-offensive weapons is the most basic acceptable position on Israel right now. It's not like acknowledging basic realities, particularly progressive or pro-Palestinian either for voters who care about those issues. Yeah, that's why I'm saying like a distinction between offensive and defensive weapons is actually a good way to jam up people who are trying to present themselves as like pro-Palestine when they're not.
I think the offensive weapon stuff, I will say that I do think that in general, on this issue more than anything, I've been getting pretty it's like you just shouldn't qualify this stuff. Like we should get out of the habit of letting people arrive at what they think are really impressive and sounding Solomonic thing, some special solution. Just go with the the G word one is a pretty good one, for example.
Disco Brian Davis on Blue Sky. Ken Martin, Democrats.org. Stop normalizing Hasan Piker. The left of center doesn't need a Joe Rogan. We've never needed Rush Limbaugh. The Democratic Coalition has superstar heroes Taylor, Sharpton, Sharpton?
All right. Oh, okay. Oh,
wait, is that is there... Are we thinking of
the same one? No, just keep reading because these names don't get any better, brother. Beyonce, and they're also just not
Springsteen, Oprah, and Kimmel. Yeah, Kamala Harris got endorsed by all of them.
Also, that doesn't matter. They don't do that. That's not their job. That's not their job. Joe Rogan is a talker for a living. Rush Limbaugh was a talker for a living.
I don't know.
None of those fucking people talk.
I don't know why he snuck Al Sharpton in between Taylor Swift and Beyonce. That is crazy to me. These other people are actually just straight up billionaire superstar celebrities, and then fucking Al Sharpton.
Also, wait, who's Taylor?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, Swift. I was thinking James Taylor. Shit.
This guy goes Insano style underneath almost every Juniper post on Blue Sky.
It's Taylor because they're all last names with the exception of Beyonce and Oprah, which are one names I know. Taylor's, I guess, still Taylor Swift to me.
The White House is vague, posing about something launching soon.
It's that whatever that robot bullshit that Melania is doing. It's just stop. Just leave it alone.
Stop. You guys are literally, you're fucking rubes, man. Oh my God. Don't worry.
The Swifties are gonna get me, Noah. No, they're not.
I'm sorry. I can't stand Blue Sky.
I don't know what goes on there, and I'm very happy about it. I mainly know that Will Stansel's not having a good time, but that's about it.
Is he? I haven't even paid attention to Will Stansel since he became a leftist hero and then got canceled and fell from grace once again.
Well, he's mad. Having a tough one.
Anyway, this was the last like Code Pink thing that I was gonna look at.
Oh.
And then I gotta go. Let's take a look.
Okay, a lot of people are talking about Hasan Piker's $20,000 sunglasses and his champagne socialist trip to Cuba. I actually wanted to weigh in on that because all these people from the US got on that flight to Cuba. My friend in Havana, her son has asthma meds now. Her son has medication to help treat his asthma and a nebulizer that he didn't have access to before because our country, the United States, is blockading medical.
Those are 20K glasses. Jesus, man, why? She's joking, man. What the fuck is wrong with some
That's
of
right.
you?
They're 50K.
Yeah, she's actually.
You think he's some poor? Come on.
Yeah, dude, 20,000? No, it's $100,000, dude.
Equipment into Cuba. Cuba cannot buy. Cuba can't just buy medicine and have it shipped to their country because of the United States blockade. And power is going out around the country because of the U.S. fuel blockade. So my friends in Cuba have been suffering through this, although they're resilient. They're cooking meals out on coal because they don't have fuel. They don't have gas for cooking. So although they're resilient, they're naturally having a very hard time. And because famous people like Hasan Piker made it a big deal that a bunch of people from the U.S. were going to Cuba to bring almost $500,000 worth of medical aid into the country, my friends' material conditions have gotten better. And I feel like everyone's just focusing on the wrong shit. And it wasn't just like 170 or something Hasan Pikers. It was actually doctors, teachers, mothers that took all of these necessary items to Cuba because we can't just send money because our country doesn't allow it. So I just wanted to give you one example of this aid tangibly improving someone's life, like my friend's kid, because focusing on right-wing talking points like Hasan Piker has expensive sunglasses is completely missing the point of over 100 people breaking the blockade on Cuba in defiance of their own country's policy of full-fledged economic warfare, that the sole purpose is to starve millions of Cubans. It's just crazy. Like, I don't give a fuck about this guy's sunglasses. I'm sorry.
What is this? Israeli media is reporting that Netanyahu expects a ceasefire announcement from Trump this Saturday. Translation, ground invasion coming this weekend. Yeah, 100%.
It's the Weekend Wars. That's like that song, like that MGMT song.
Why does she keep calling them sunglasses? Yeah, they're not even sunglasses. They're transition they're transition lenses. But yeah, all right, that'll be all for tonight. We're one day closer to Trump doing the unthinkable alongside Israel. Who knows where we go from here, right? It's fucking unbelievable, but woo. And also Friday I'm going to be in New York. Saturday I'm going to be in New York, and then Sunday I'm going to be with Ana Lilia Mejia in the ancestral homeland of New Jersey, alongside Noah Kulwin, as a matter of fact. So, get ready for that. Get excited for that. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for the day. Atlanta when? I don't know. Why do you keep asking me when I'm going to Atlanta? Anyway, bye everybody. Peace.